Hi everyone, my name is Kate. Welcome back to my wondernetting channel. Today we are going to make a Halloween bag kind of DIY project. For this I'll be using the ICORD machine from Caydo. The link I will leave in the description below the video. This machine makes ICORDs and I thought it could be fun, really fun, to make something Halloween themed like pumpkin shaped bag with ICORDs. Honestly, I have no idea how it's going to turn out, so let's experiment together. This is going to be more of a DIY video, maybe with a crochet touch here and there, but mostly we'll be using these ICORDs that this machine creates. Of course, you can use some regular thick shoelaces or maybe super chunky yarn and make something similar to what I'll be showing you today. By the way, don't forget to check the link in the description because with my code WONDER you will get 15% off this machine. There are tons of projects that you can make with this machine, mostly for home decor, but personally I wanted to try something more practical, so today we are going to attempt a bag. And since Halloween is coming, mine will be pumpkin shaped. I think it will also look super cool if you make it shaped like an eyeball, for example. For my project, I'm just going to need this machine, 2 skeins of yarn, I hope that will be enough, some black yarn because I want to make an eyes and a mouth, and probably some green yarn to make a bag handle. So let's get started and see what we can create together. I'm really curious how this will turn out. Make sure to leave a comment. What do you think about ICORDs? What else we can make with them? I honestly think if you ever wanted to work with a super chunky yarn, it's cheaper to buy a very thin yarn and make with it an ICORDs. That way you basically get your own giant yarn and you can crochet or knit all sorts of project with it, like super chunky hats, cardigans, or even a blanket. Alright, let's get started. So I'll be using this yarn today. It's pretty thick and I hope it's gonna work with my machine. I just got it in a local store nearby. I grabbed 2 skeins of this beautiful orange color. I also be using this thinner yarn. I'm thinking of using it for the eyes and mouth and maybe for the edging, we'll see. I've never worked with this yarn before, so I can't really say much about it. It's probably 100% acrylic, but this will be a great test to see how the machine works with both thinner and thicker yarns. So here's my machine from Caydo. It plugs in with a cord and it has 3 different speed settings, which is super convenient. First I want to make a cord with the orange yarn. I'm gonna use up the whole skein and then cut it into the pieces I need. I'm threading the yarn to the machine and there's nothing complicated about it. It's really intuitive. In a moment I'll show you a closer look at how I set everything up so you can get it right on the first try. For now I'll start on the lowest speed, and look, here's the cord we're getting. It's really tight and sturdy. I was actually worried this yarn might be too thick, but it turns out it worked just fine. The cord is coming out nice and dense, pretty chunky too. For example, if you wanted to crochet something with this cord, like an oversized hat or even a cardigan, it probably need at least 9 or maybe 12 millimeters crochet hook. Like I said, you can change the speed here, and that's super handy because if you keep working on the lowest speed, it can take forever, but on 3rd speed I think you could finish a whole skein in about 10 minutes. That's really fast. I'm finishing up my first skein of yarn. Now let's see how many meters of cord we get from just one skein. I'm simply turning the machine off and pulling the cord out. You don't even need to stitch it together because we won't be using it that way. So here it is. Look at this cord I've got. It's incredible. It looks like a real rope. Now let's measure. From one skein I got about 7 meters of cord. I think 2 skeins around 14 meters should be just enough for a small bag. Let me show you a closer look. See how beautiful this cord is. Honestly, you could just sit and admire it. Now I'll quickly make another cord with my second skein, and at the same time I'll show you in more detail how I thread the yarn so you don't get confused. So first we need to put the yarn end through this little holder. It adjusts the tension. Then there's this little hole here. Don't forget to thread it through this hole. And in the kit with this machine there is this special hook. I insert right into the center, grab the yarn and pull it through. After that, I place the yarn under this little press or whatever you'd call it, and now we'll make the first row by hand just to be sure the cord comes out right from the start. For that, I'll use this manual handle where it says purl and knit, and I'll turn it toward knit. So we need to hook the yarn on the first hook, skip the second, hook the third, skip the fourth, and then knit all the way around all the hooks. Do this for a few rounds, make sure to pull the yarn end from the other side to keep it tight, and then you can turn the machine on. What you should see is a little square pattern forming. That's how you know your cord is working out correctly. So I'll spend about another 10 minutes making one more 7-meter cord from one skein, and then we'll move on to the back. For that, we need to measure out the length of the cord we'll use for the height of the back. Just fold the cord in half like this, mine is about 19 centimeters like this, and cut it right around here. Don't worry, just pull out the pieces and gently tug the yarn. It's not going to unravel. Leave the cord as it is, don't finish all of those stitches because later we'll need to undo them again. Now cut as many cords as you need for the width of your back. I'll be making about 17 or maybe 18 strips. Don't worry if your cords end up being slightly different in length. A tiny difference, like a half a centimeter, is totally fine, just try to keep them more or less the same size. Here's what I've got, these really pretty cord pieces, I even have some yarn left over. And now, what are we going to do? We need to join all the cords together. For that, we'll need a crochet hook. I'll be using a small one, about 3 mm, it's easier that way. We're going to crochet along one edge and then the other edge. After that, we'll need some extra cord pieces that we'll view in horizontally across the back. Like I mentioned before, you don't need to tie off the ends of your cords because right now we actually need them open, like this one here. At first I joined all of them together, but then I had to undo everything, so don't repeat my mistake. Just leave these loops as it is. Now this part is a bit time consuming. What we need to do is insert the crochet hook into the very first loop on the cord. Now you should have 4 loops on your cord. Into each of these 4 loops we are going to crochet single crochet. So insert a hook into the first loop, grab the yarn, pull it out, then insert a hook into the second loop, grab the yarn, pull it out, you have 2 loops on the hook, crochet them together. You can hide the yarn ends as you go, then again insert a hook into the next loop, grab the yarn, pull it out and make a single crochet. And you'll need to repeat this for all 4 loops on the cord. Once that's done, we'll move on to the next cord and do the exact same thing, single crochet into all 4 loops. If you're working with regular yarn or even something like regular shoelaces, it might actually be easier to just sew them together with a needle and thread, or even run them through a sewing machine. With these thick cords, a sewing machine would probably be way more convenient, but since I don't have one, I'm crocheting mine together. So definitely use that hack if you do have a sewing machine. I'm slowly working my way through all the cords. I've finished one side, and here's what it looks like. You could even use this idea for some kind of clothing element. Now we need to fold it in half like this and continue working on the other side. I just fold the cords over and keep crocheting them together with single crochets, the same way I did on the first side. I connect each one in order, just be careful not to mix them up. Here's how it's coming out. At the very end, I join the last stitch to the very first stitch with slip stitch, chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now we'll cut some new cords about the same length as the first ones, maybe a bit longer, around 40-42 centimeters. Just use that as a reference. I hide all the ends into the cords itself and cut the yarn. It kind of looks like a little pumpkin right now, but we need to give it more shape. For that, I take another cord and view it through these vertical cords. Be careful here, you need to alternate, go under one cord, then over the next, under and over, and so on around the whole circle. When you reach the starting point, take a needle and sew the two ends of the horizontal cord together. I insert the needle into each stitch and match it with the stitch on the other side, sewing them together one by one. Here's the seam you get. I hide the yarn ends inside the cord and cut them off. The first row is trickiest and the second one is probably the same, but after that it gets easier. So now I'll take the second cord and view it the opposite way. Wherever I went over last time, I'll go under this time, and I'll continue that pattern all the way around, then sew the ends together again. Try to keep your seams all on the same side for a cleaner look. Here I've already done 3 horizontal rows, and as you can see the back is starting to take shape. Basically you can keep adding as many cords as you like depending on how sturdy or dense you want your back to be. Here's the progress so far, and this is the clutch style back base I ended up with. You can see I used 8 horizontal rows in total. Now the only thing left is to add the edging. For the edging I'm using a crochet hook again. I insert it between the cords here, and in each space I crochet 2 single crochets. I'll keep going around the circle, join at the end and cut the yarn. Now I'm making a black I-cord for the eyes and mouth, and here you can see the difference between the orange and black cord, one made with thick yarn, the other with thinner yarn. The thinner cord is softer and more flexible, while the thicker one is sturdier and holds its shape better. Here I decided to redo the edging. I actually want it in black instead, so I'm just repeating the same process but with black yarn. Now let's make the handle for the back. For this I'll also be using an I-cord. You could totally braid it and make a simple braid as a handle, but I'm going to twist it into a rope instead. To do that I fold the cord in half, pull both ends from the inside to outside and then start twisting. I twist one cord to the right, the second cord also to the right, but then I twist them together to the left. That way you get this rope effect that won't come undone or unravel. I just keep going until the handle is the length I need. Again, you can also crochet a handle or make a braid, whatever you prefer. Once I'm done, I attach the handle from outside to the inside and sew the cord together to secure it. Now for the eyes, I take a small piece of cord and start rolling it into a circle, shaping it into a little teardrop. With the leftover yarn end, I sew it in place through the rows. That gives me these little eyes. For the mouse, I fold the cord in half and stitch the two sides together. Then I shape the mouse however I like and use the yarn end to sew both the mouse and the eyes onto the back. And here's the finished result. As you can see, it looks really unique. Even though the back isn't exactly shaped like a pumpkin, it still has such a fun and unusual look. I love the way the viewing turned out. It's a cute little Halloween bag, and actually you could even use it as a mini basket, for example, to store candy for Halloween. That would make such a fun and cozy piece of home decor too. So here it is, our little pumpkin bag we made with you today. I still have some cords left, so I could make it even wider or taller. You could also use it as a home decor, fill it up with candy for Halloween. But I think I'll wear it as a bag because it looks different and unique. It's not overly cute, but it has this bold, edgy vibe and I like it. So I hope you guys enjoy this DIY project. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this bag. Would you try making something like this yourself? And of course this bag wouldn't turn as I imagined without this machine from Caydo. It's ICORD machine Pro version, and you really have to try it. It's totally worth it. Getting one as a gift would be amazing. With Black Friday coming up, with holiday seasons around the corner, it's a perfect tool for any creative person, for you, for your mom, for your grandma. A really useful tool for any DIY project. Don't forget to check the link to this machine in the description below the video. With my code WONDER you will get 15% off. So that's it for today's video, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video and leave your comment, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye kitties!